Hey, what is up, everybody? It is BBKDRAGOON here with another round of Strange Coins. Today, we're talking all about House of Wolves. Here's my main character, my Warlock, my love, my one and only. Level 34. Ended up getting this on Wednesday, the day after House of Wolves came out, and pretty cool gear that I'm trying to show off here. Got that new Monarchy shader. If you're a new Monarchy fan, shoutouts. And House of Wolves brings some of the sickest looking gear I've ever seen. Just wait till I show you my Titan here in a second. Oh man, just phenomenal. So in this second Strange Coins, we're going to be talking about House of Wolves. Mainly what they did right. I'll talk about some of my responses and desires that I would like to see. But for the most part, I think House of Wolves undeniably is the best expansion Destiny has ever had. Look at those pants. They look sweet. And look at the helmet. This Titan is looking so golden. This is my level 3 Titan. I do not have a Hunter, but I have, well, level 6 or 7 Hunter that I need to level up. I ended up getting the exotic legs for the Hunter. I've got legendary arms for the Hunter. I've basically got a full set to get me to 32 for the Hunter. I just need to actually get to like level 20 with the Hunter. So thank you very much for the support on the previous Strange Coins. Over 150 likes. You guys showed so much support, and I really appreciate that. I sort of stepped out and did something new, and you guys were appreciative of that, and thank you. So today's is not live. I'm showing you a Prison of Elders run with MVito22 and Azure. We play quite a bit together. I'm going to have links to their channel down below. MVito and Azure stream quite a bit, and you guys should go check them out. You should go follow them. A fair warning right away. If you do not want any of the Prison of Elders experience spoiled, you do not need to watch this. I will be showing off, obviously, the Vex Room and the Treasure Room at the end of this video. This was one of my earlier Prison of Elder runs, so if I'm doing some goofy, junky stuff, that's probably why. At this point, I have done probably 14 or 15 Prison of Elders runs. I've beaten the level 32 and 34 version on both of my characters, and I'm hopefully going to be trying out the level 35 version with my Warlock in the next few days. This one is not live because I was talking with my teammates, and every time I'm playing Prison of Elders, I need to talk with my teammates. Unless you're doing level 28, in which case you can probably get away without too much coordination, but let's just dig right into why House of Wolves is so awesome. So Prison of Elders, it's great. It's just really, really a fun experience. And guess what? It is hard. Level 34 is very hard. So I'm very nervous for what level 35 is going to be like. To give you the story, the first day playing, got my character to level 33. A lot of people don't know that you can get to 33 super easily. All you need to do is beat the level 32 version of Prison of Elders. That will give you an armor core. You can take that armor core to Varix, who's my new favorite character in this expansion, by the way. And he will sell you a piece of Prison of Elders gear. It's already upgraded. You don't have to worry about armor or damage nodes in House of Wolves, which is incredible. Maybe one of the best decisions that they have ever made in Destiny's life cycle. And you need to ascend one piece of exotic gear in combination with that piece of Prison of Elders gear, and you're level 33. Boom. After that, all you got to do is get 2 etheric lights, which I got by doing the level 34 version twice, and then you're level 34. Now, I went into House of Wolves planning on getting level 34 as quickly as possible, with the attempt of trying to run level 35 within the first week. So if you're somebody who thinks, oh my gosh, this expansion is so short, how are players already at max light level? It's kind of a misunderstanding of what Destiny actually is. That's like saying when you reach max level in World of Warcraft, you're done, or you're pretty much done. No, it's the total opposite. Destiny is not a race to max light level and then you're done. No, when you hit max light level, that's really when the game opens up. And in House of Wolves, that's when level 35 becomes a viable thing. So if I use the WoW analogy again, if you're somebody who hits level 100 in WoW, you then can start raiding. You can start endgame PvP. You can do world events. You can become an actual player within that world. In my opinion, it's the same with Destiny. When you reach the max light levels, you start to experience the game for its awesomeness, for its true worth, for what I enjoy out of it. And at this point, House of Wolves, Destiny has reached a great point. There is a ton of stuff to do. And by the way, the Cabal Room is really hard. I think everybody I talk to agrees with me. The Cabal Room is the most challenging out of all 4 rooms. When I say it has reached a great position, there's so much to do. Ascending legendary gear, any legendary weapon or any legendary piece of gear can be ascended to the maximum light level or the maximum attack level. Why this is so brilliant is because it creates incentive to run the raids. When Crota's End was out, nobody ran Vogue except for just fun giggles. That armor was useless because it wasn't max light level. Those weapons were useless because they were not not useless, but there was not that big of a desire to actually go in and do Vault of Glass hard mode runs. Well, guess what? Now there is. Vault of Glass contains a bunch of great weapons. I want Fatebringer really badly, so I have to go run Vault of Glass on hard mode with a crew of people each week trying to get that drop. I want the Mythoclast. It's a brilliant way to make the old raid content viable again for players. It creates a desire to go back and get gear that you haven't had before. Not to mention the fact that the House of Wolves gear is already really awesome. The new vendor gear, the new Queen gear, the new Prison of Elders gear, and of course the new Trials of Osiris gear, which we'll get to try out on Friday. And then there's the brilliance of removing armor nodes and damage nodes. So I'm sure you all have spent time getting a new weapon or a new piece of armor, and then you have to do the grind of actually leveling that piece up before you get to feel its true benefits in terms of the maximum armor it can offer you or the maximum damage. All House of Wolves gear, including the vendor gear, has done away with this. An absolutely brilliant choice that encourages you to try more gear. I've gotten a lot of drops from Queen's weaponry that I don't need to max the damage nodes in order to test that thing with the maximum, well, not maximum attack level. I'd still need to ascend that gear to get it to 365, but it comes stock at 331, like attack level, which is the maximum of the previous weapon expansion gear words and stuff. That's just brilliant. Same thing with the armor. It comes ready to go. Now, granted, if it's vendor armor, you'll still need to ascend it to reach level 34. But it's just a great move by Bungie to simplify things. Now, they're just giving you more choices and reasons to play your character the way you want. And in this expansion, you will not see a bunch of level 34s wearing the same gear. No, because you can ascend your gear, it's a choice. You get to determine which stats matter to you a lot. So the story mode, I really wanted to put footage of the story mode here for you, but I think it's best played by the user. I don't want to spoil it, but they did it right. They did it so right. Petra, who's the new NPC for the Queen, and Varix, who's the new Fallen NPC for Prison of Elders, they sort of work as a team, guiding you across the galaxy as you track down Skolos and find out more about the House of Wolves, the Reef Wars, and the rebellion that's brewing within the world of Destiny. They take you to excellent set pieces that you've explored before in areas that you haven't explored before. One of the things that they do that I'm not going to spoil, they brilliantly take the players to locations that many folks who play Destiny have not been to. Statistics have shown that many players have not been to and it gives them a taste. And that taste is hopefully enough to encourage them to participate in these endgame activities later on. The final few missions are incredible set pieces, just gorgeous, but they also convey the plot better than what the previous vanilla story and the Dark Below did. In comparison, Dark Below looks like a total joke. Like you get so much more value with House of Wolves than you do with Dark Below. And they did a great job communicating that to us. This is the Fallen Room, by the way, in Prison of Elders. First time I came in here, I just about dropped the controller on the floor. It was the artwork that Bungie puts together is something else. Definitely next level. And one of the things I will mention with the story, I visited a lot of the areas from the story before House of Wolves came out. Sassy, my good friend, many of you know him from Destiny the show, took me to a lot of these locations by breaking the map. Bungie has always been a developer that kind of leaves little breadcrumbs on how you can actually get out of their maps and explore certain areas, like Trader's Catch, which is the new raid I was able to see, King's Watch I was able to see, and the Terminus area I was able to see. And what's very cool is the Terminus area. If you watched my video breaking the map for the Terminus area, it looks nothing like what it looks like in the story mode. They completely changed the layout and how that area plays. So when people continually complain, on-disc DLC and Activision's horrible and Bungie removes so much content from this game, while there are resources on disc available, I'm telling you, they put a ton of effort into some of these missions that were not there from day one and on the disc. It's really not an argument I like to get into. Most of the time it's with folks who are not super educated. That's probably an offensive way to say it. People who have watched a few YouTube videos on it, get emotionally responsive, and then yeah, it's not really something I want to talk about in this video because I'll probably do a bad job unless I get a bunch of notes out in front of me. But do I think Bungie, Activision, evil, let's remove content and force it to them like to buy later? No, not one bit. I've been to a handful of these DLC areas and seen them change when they actually get released. I do think they have made strategic choices, not all of them for the benefit of the player, but people tend to forget the video game world is a business, and good companies strike a balance between being profitable and successful and, you know, making their fan base happy. It's a weird balancing act. Prison of Elders, back to it to wrap up because I can't really talk too much on Trials of Osiris. Prison of Elders is really good. It offers a lot of variety. It sure as heck offers the challenge endgame Destiny players have been craving. 3-man is a brilliant move because most of us have 2 other people we can play with during the week, whereas raids, it is a big deal to get 6 people on. You know, now that I think about it after running Prison of Elders for as long as I have, getting a full party of 6 together for 2-3 hours can be a challenge, and Prison of Elders offers a nice new activity within Destiny that I really hope they keep adding and expanding onto throughout Destiny's continued lifespan. It is a wonderful game type, something that the game has needed, and now when I get on throughout the week, not only do I have the option to PvP, which I do a ton, that really is my main activity when I play Destiny. There's the Nightfall Strike, there is the Heroics for coins, there's doing Vault of Glass, and Crota's End for gear that I want to ascend. And now I have Prison of Elders, level 32, 34, and 35 to complete throughout the week. And if I want to do level 28s casually, I'm fully available to do that. Now, if you do not want to see the treasure room, by the way, it'll be at the end of this video. So I don't want to spoil that for you, but the game's been out for a bit now. I don't think it's very spoiler worrisome. So now, Trials of Osiris, well, before I say Trials of Osiris, does it fill the place of a raid? And no, it doesn't. And I think probably in about 3 or 4 weeks, honeymoon period will wear off. We will have figured out most of the curated experiences in Prison of Elders, I will say this, I don't think we're going to figure out that many ways to cheese these, especially this room. The Cabal Room is exceptionally challenging. Now, I know the Destiny community is extremely creative, but Bungie has done a really good job with Prison of Elders, making it hard to cheese. The enemies are aggressive. There's very few safe spots on the map. You continually are in dire circumstances, especially in the level 34 versions, and especially on the boss fights of the level 34 versions. You have to be working so closely with your teammates. It is the hardest endgame activity I've ever done in Destiny. 100% succeeds in that area, but it does not fill the place of a raid. They did say no raid at launch with House of Wolves. And this can go two ways. You can either think, oh, maybe they'll add a raid between now and September, or they'll be adding another raid when the Taken King releases in September. The Taken King is the name trademarked by Bungie that we are now calling Comet. So Comet was this, you guys should know what Comet is by this point, but it was a rumored expansion for Destiny, a large-scale expansion bigger than what we've had before, coming out 1 year after the release of Destiny, which would be September 9th. It was called Comet for a long time. They trademarked the name The Taken King, and my belief is that the Taken King will house a new raid for us. It will raise the max light level, we will get a third subclass, and we will have additional planets unlock and many more activities unlock. It will be the pinnacle Destiny experience for players to upgrade to, and then we'll have our Cabal expansion in November, or the Vex expansion in November, followed by next February, January, March, whatever, being the final expansion for Destiny 1, with Destiny 2 coming out September 2016. Now, don't hold me to it, that's just all predictions right then and there. So, House of Wolves overall, during the first week without Trials of Osiris, I think Prison of Elders is phenomenal. I think they've listened to us, the biggest improvements being ascending gear and removing the armor and damage nodes that you had to constantly fill out. They are streamlining the game, and at this point it really is becoming quite the full experience. And I know a lot of players who got angry at vanilla Destiny with it being too content light, or people getting angry at Crotazen for not filling the void where a lot of us thought it was hopefully to do that. House of Wolves is a huge step in the right direction. We are not there. There's so many things that they can add, but Bungie has been listening to us, in my opinion. They've responded to a lot of our requests with this expansion, and I really hope they continue their communication with us the way they have. Deej, the live streams, we really knew everything about House of Wolves, for the most part, the features and whatnot, before it came out. And I'm not saying they always have to do this, but for big features, I love that they keep the community in the loop, creates hype, creates excitement. When I look at my friends list and there's just a ton of people on playing Destiny, gets me excited to play what I think is a very quality game. And it's funny when you say that, because, you know, 9 months ago, there's a lot of haterade flowing around, and those folks still can manage to be here. Everyone, if you enjoyed this video, could you please leave a like? It doesn't really help me in terms of search stuff or whatever, but it does leave a nicer imprint on the viewer and helps me know that you guys are enjoying this series. If you have some feedback for me, let me know. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much, and enjoy House of Wolves.